FaZe on one side, Gen.G on the other. Let's play the last game of the day.
James, Bot, and Pirelli here to cast the action. Gen.G and FaZe, two North American teams. I guess if you're a fan of NA Rocket League, you can go home happy that at least one of these teams will be guaranteed into the playoffs.
Good news, NA's moving on. Bad news, NA has to lose here as well. And Gen.G, I love that the Des was bringing up their previous matchup against Falcons. They looked really good. Probably the most complete I think we've seen Gen.G look here at this tournament so far. FaZe, it's been up and down. That previous series against Liquid, there were some high moments, there were some low moments. Let's see if they can even out here against Gen.G.
Chronic had such a big game in that final game of the series against the Falcons. He had an incredible goal off the ceiling and then a flick off the ground that was perfectly placed upper 90. We'll see if Chronic has that same offensive impact here against the regional rivals FaZe. Chronic with the ball, first killer will challenge him and skips across the field. Miss slowing it down, Typical up. Chronic as well, gets the defensive read, rebound out to first killer, and first killer starts the series off with a double tap.
It's automatic from first killer. When you see him get that clean first touch off the back wall, you know exactly where it's going next. Straight to the back of your net. And FaZe Clan starting off strong here in the first 40 seconds, showing a lot of poise here against a domestic rival. They've traded blows throughout this fall split.
They have. And you know, the Des teammates specifically said they split them 2-2, but the 3 playoff matchups, which are the most important series, we saw FaZe Clan win the first matchup against Gen.G in the Fall Open, but then Gen.G took them down in the quarters at the Fall Cup, and then in the Fall Invitational, Gen.G, they destroyed them. And they even Braziled them in the first game of the series. So you know that FaZe Clan is ready for revenge.
Oh, absolutely. You could tell in that video beforehand, we were talking to First Killer, he's tired of finishing top 4. He wants to push further into the tournament. He wants to crown himself. And certainly getting through Gen.G here would prove FaZe to be worthy to the next step. Here's a shot turned away by Mist.
Well defended by Mist. He was creeping on the backboard. The most patient defender that you'll see in North America. Rarely does Mist panic. Ollie sees Abjack in the middle. A double commit from FaZe. A Chronic, a bit too hesitant, leaves that. First killer, go for a flip reset. Clear, a miss. Lets it by still. Typical going for the 50, and Abjack now chasing the ball down. He's out of boost. Black tail out. Missed a little pop. You saw that challenge oncoming. And there's the bump from Chronic, but Typical, he had the redundant defense.
Some patience there from FaZe. Mist doing a great job buying some time with the first touch. He knew he was going to give up possession, but he had bought time for his teammates to get back. He cleaned it up himself, but here comes the shot from apparently Jack, slotted to the left side, and we're tied up.
This is playing out just like the scriptwriters hoped. You've got the #1 scorer, and apparently Jack getting the first goal for Gen.G. And First Killer, who finished second in scoring in North America, got the first one for FaZe. Will we see a shootout?
It's very rare to see First Killer not at the top of North American offensive stats. It's been apparently Jack to dethrone him. So apparently Jack tries to drop this one down. A good pickup here from First Killer. Trying to turn this one back around.
Ooh, nice 50 attempt from First. That's going to leave the ball out. Typical could possess it. Nolly open that ball downfield. Boost steal as well. Will Nolly turn? He does. Gets the hit, but Chronic, you see Chronic having to retreat all the way back for a boost. That gives space for FaZe.
You can see the patience coming out from FaZe, but still not making the right decision. It was too obvious, and now the bumps come through, and it looks too easy for Gen.G to take the lead.
Chronic, he was retreating for boost, but quickly got back involved in the play. It was hovering along that goal line. That ball battled in by Gen.G.
And that's good work from Gen.G. Again, there's been multiple times for FaZe Clan where they've been able to bring the ball down and they have space in front of them, and they've still given it back to Gen.G. It's good that they're trying to be patient with it, but you have to make the right decision. And now the pressure is coming on from Gen.G again off the kickoff. Back in the final third, attacking FaZe Clan once again.
First Killer got a piece of that ball on the challenge with Nolly. Chronic side flip 50, going for a second effort. And not the best touch from apparently Jack, but Nolly will bail out Gen.G. Still in harm's way. Rebound is scored by Typical.
And that's how the FaZe Clan offense works. If you give them just a little bit of space, they're going to come through and make an awkward touch and then punish you with the shot to the right side.
And we were so far away on director cam from that touch from apparently Jack, but you wonder what happened on that touch and how that one got away from him. FaZe Clan back into it. There's a bouncer. Clear attempt from apparently Jack, the first killer. Flipping into the flip, reset. That second flip almost doing damage.
9 shots on the side of Gen.G. They've peppered the FaZe Clan side. 6 saves have been forced from FaZe, and now apparently Jack with the boost. Can he go all the way? That shot's wide. Chronic was there. Miss makes the save. Nolly was all the way back, and now he chooses to go through, gets a touch. Follow-up is late from apparently Jack. Chronic, great positioning, and now the demo from Nolly opens it up. Miss has to dive across. Typical's there, can't make the save, and apparently Jack will put it away for Gen.G.
And this was Gen.G stretched. They get the demo. Apparently Jack doesn't rotate out, quickly turns around, goes for the 50, and what a 50 that was. We even saw that against the Falcons. Apparently Jack, when he's on the goal line like that, rarely does that ball get away from him.
That attack from Gen.G has been so strong. You can see the challenge game from him has been even stronger. Right in front of the goal line there for FaZe. Now FaZe have got to go. Just over 30 seconds left. First killer can't get a touch. Chronic will blast it downfield. Has missed all too often the last man for FaZe. And Gen.G just do not let FaZe out. You see all these balls lobbed into the air. And again, you can just see Gen.G players coming across the midfield and picking it off.
And they're not wanting to give first killer specifically any space to go for those solo plays. Quick challenges at the midfield. Now the final chance for FaZe. Missed. Will play it downfield. It gets by. Nolly trying to poke it down. Mist keeps the ball in play. First killer will tap it up. Typical on the backboard. Mist getting jostled. No one's going to get there for FaZe. And Gen.G lock in game 1.
Yeah, there was no boost there for Mist to get up after it. And Gen.G, they looked very poised here in game 1 offensively. If you were watching their previous series against Falcons, it felt like Falcons were getting the better of them. Despite them coming out 3-1 in that series, offensively, Falcons were all over them. This time, I think Gen.G did a great job of keeping their presence downfield, and I think it's been too obvious from FaZe. You've seen players just from Gen.G diving across the field and intercepting a lot of these passes.
It's going to have to be more creative. We did see a really nice start to the game. First killer with that double tap. You thought it would be an omen, but slowly and surely, Gen.G started fighting back, and this really was the trademark Gen.G approach. You got apparently Jack scoring the goals. Chronic also nice goal, but also 2 assists. Nolly, he didn't put up anything in the goal or assist category, but if you remember back on one of the plays, the demo that opened up the opportunity for Gen.G, that was created by the Nolly demo, and apparently Jack recognizing that quickly, and then Chronic putting a good ball downfield to allow apparently Jack to even go for that 50.
It's high quality from Gen.G. I mean, what can we say? We can only sing their praises here. They did a great job. I mean, FaZe Clan were able to break through a few times, but that's going to happen when you go up a team like this, and I think Gen.G, the offense was there. They certainly had the better of FaZe, not only because they came out on top, because their offense really proved to be a problem against this FaZe Clan defense.
Gen.G, as of late, they have had FaZe's number. Now another demo. Apparently Jack taking out Typical. Missed on the dribble. 50 will leak out to the corner for Gen.G. Apparently Jack trying to dribble it down to the backboard. Chronic going for the clear and gets another hit on it off the ground after Nolly's challenge didn't make contact. Gen.G trying to work this ball out of their half, and the shot from Typical hits the crossbar. And you know Typical's going to want that one back.
And now it's poked free by apparently Jack. Typical's not going to get through. And just as you thought Typical was going to put away the shot, apparently Jack goes back the other way, and it's Gen.G in the lead.
And the comfortability from Nolly. He goes for the flip reset, baits in the midfielder from FaZe, and as soon as the midfielder bites, he flip resets past him, gets that passed over to apparently Jack. Well done by Nolly.
And I was about to criticize Gen.G for allowing Typical to have so much space there on that shot, but he couldn't convert it. And great counter there from apparently Jack. The Des talked about him being the MVP here from North America, and he is trying to prove that now on LAN. That's been one of the biggest criticisms of apparently Jack, is he's been great online. When it comes to LAN, he's fallen off, and so far, I think through this LAN, he's looked fantastic, especially in the last 2 series. Here's Nolly getting a dunk, Chronic not going to get the read, and apparently Jack sitting deep waiting for FaZe to come after him.
The first killer had a passing lane to Typical, and you see Typical even going for a bump there. Didn't opt to take it. That attack not mounting to much. Gen.G now trying to force this ball on FaZe's half, but FaZe break out once more. First killer, the second touch off to the corner. We'll pop that up into the middle, but nobody up for FaZe.
That was actually a great pass from first killer. I don't think anyone was ready for it. And FaZe having to go back to their own side here. And again, this one getting away from them. This time not even being intercepted by Gen.G, just the pass not on target.
Chronic to the corner, missed. We'll get help from first. First to Typical. Typical will launch it downfield. Gets a boost steal. But look how much boost Gen.G has. I don't know how much that boost steal will really do.
There's another shot from Chronic. Gen.G currently sitting 1-0, maybe make it 2-0. Is apparently Jack will put it top shelf, and you can see he's hype about it. Fist bumps all around, and it's a double up here for Gen.G.
The quick turn from Chronic, and you saw him miss, stuck on that back wall. Gen.G, they are running circles around FaZe, who offensively have not really showed much. We saw that double tap from first killer, but that was really the only life we've seen from FaZe so far. They're gonna have to start amping it up.
Gen.G currently up 2-0, but scoring first, obviously, here in Game 2. They're currently on a 33-game win streak if they score first. That is a massive streak, James.
Yeah, that does not spell good news for FaZe Clan. We might see another one. Nice save from Typical. But defense will not help FaZe at this point. They really need something on the offensive end. A nice flick from first killer. Typical only had enough boost to shoot it, but it was blocked. Follow-up from Mist will be saved. The mid boost from Typical goes for the challenge. Bounces high. Apparently Jack with a critical 50 win. There's a bump. Apparently Jack won't score it. Chronic on the rebound won't score it. But still precious time wasted off the clock after that Gen.G assault.
And you can see how fast things get flipped on its head when FaZe lose possession. Gen.G are all over. 2-3 shots are put on the FaZe Clan net. And you're just seeing these clears just to relieve pressure from FaZe. They aren't really holding on to the ball right now.
And for Gen.G, on the other hand, you saw that cute little fake from Chronic. Chronic jumping up, realizing, you know, I think my teammate's going to have a better line on this ball. Goes off of it. Gen.G retain possession. They keep the attack going. There's much more fluidity offensively from Gen.G.
Yeah, it just seems like everything's working for them, and it seems like FaZe, one guy will take it out of their side, and they hope for the best. There isn't a lot of follow-up. There isn't a lot of control. There isn't a lot of possession. Gen.G have been just better on the ball and better at protecting it when it's in their possession.
Chronic beat to that ball, however. The demo on Mist. It's going to put FaZe man down for a moment. Sidewall pass attempt, but again, Chronic is just faster. Oh! No, he goes for the demo! The selfless play. He doesn't need the stats. He just wants the goals for Gen.G.
And heat-seeking missile straight into Mist.
That is tilting, Pirelli. And that is what I love about Nolly. That is what I love. He does not really care about the stats.
No.
And he doesn't care about playing your cookie-cutter Rocket League.
He plays to get the job done, James. And right now, Gen.G as a team are getting the job done. It is 4-0 in Game 2. Chronic getting credit here, but look at apparently Jack's challenge to pop it out into the box. And Gen.G are rolling over FaZe Clan right now.
And like I said, Gen.G has done this before to FaZe. If you remember, the Fall Invitational, first game, 7-1. Wow. Gen.G beat FaZe down, and we are seeing a similar game here. FaZe has been nowhere to be found.
Nolly has been going around blowing up FaZe Clan players left and right, getting demos. And with 10 seconds left, a formality here. as it is very clear Gen.G, the better team in game 2. I know it's 5-0, but that was a great shot.
Oh my goodness. Chronic getting the pinch. Nolly. They are ruthless. The Gen.G did not need to score that, but honestly, that is what you need to do, especially in a competition like this. When your opponent's down,
yes,
you kick them, and if you notice they're bleeding, they got an open wound, you pour some salt in it. And that is exactly what Gen.G has done. Absolutely.
There is no mercy here, and FaZe will maybe get a Band-Aid for game 2, but it's not going to fix the broken leg that they're walking away with, as Gen.G have crushed FaZe Clan here in game 2, and they're on match point.
Corelli, Gen.G, they've played FaZe quite a bit throughout this fall split so far, and their recent track record has been quite good, and it looks like they're going to be continuing that success here unless FaZe can get something going offensively. And you're looking at that man right there, First Killer. He was second in scoring, first in assists. When you think about the offensive player of the year for North America so far, you have to say First Killer. And we have not seen really any offense from anyone from FaZe up to this point.
Well, again, a point that we've brought up a few times now is FaZe are not holding on to the ball. And if they are, it's been a couple solo plays, which I think they need more of, actually, because the passing's not working. Gen.G have them completely red. I think the best chance that they've had was when First Killer was on the dribble and he passed it over to Sypical on the counter. That was the best look that I think FaZe had.
On that play, Sypical didn't even have enough boost to make a meaningful shot.
They had to stretch out for it, and the offense is not there for FaZe Clan. If you want to look at the flip side, Gen.G have outscored FaZe 28-10 in the last games that they've played against each other. They are dominating FaZe Clan at the moment through most of these series in the past.
Can FaZe break out of that slump that they've been having against Gen.G? They're gonna have to do it here. Game 3. Chronic, flip pass to the middle, going for a 50, an awkward flip with Sypical. It worked out for him, and that shot's rolling towards net. Sypical couldn't 50 it in. Rebound out to First Killer. Chronic, though, getting a piece of it. A little tip from Nolly, he'll send that upfield. Apparently Jack to Chronic. Chronic didn't get the hit, but even the threat of Chronic was something to be looking at if you're FaZe, and you see another demo as well. Aggression in favor of Gen.G in this matchup.
I mean, they're just simply blocking FaZe. Every time they get a touch, there's a Gen.G player in front of them, and a lot of misdirection on the attack from Gen.G as well. You were just talking about Chronic. I mean, he's just throwing himself behind the ball and throwing off the defense there. The threat of the touch is what FaZe is trying to read. And when he doesn't come up with it, it's even more confusing. Now, apparently, Jack, a couple touches down the sideline is not good enough to beat First Killer.
First Killer down to Sypical. Sypical, the 50, and the rebound is cleaned up by apparently Jack. That looked like a promising attack for FaZe. FaZe just struggling to get these goals to convert.
You see how fast it fizzles out for FaZe. And here comes another attack. Here's Sypical, double tap, and he puts it wide. Another shot goes wide for miss. First Killer dives in. It's just Sypical back, and he turns away the quick transition. This one's still lobbed downfield, but again, FaZe, it's one shot, and it's done. The tack's gone.
But that double tap, it feels like normally Sypical's hitting those. So the double tap opportunity there, and it slips away for FaZe. Maybe another one here, missed. And do an air dribble. Chronic up early, doesn't bump miss. Miss can't stay on the ball, however. Sypical trying to take time. Nolly up to Jack. Jack.
Demo.
Slowed down by First Killer. That demo was a nice one. But Nolly with the read missed. Was thinking about pushing that towards the backboard, but Nolly said no.
Whew. Sypical lucky that one went wide of the net. That one was going to find the back of the net if it was on target. Now Nolly off the ceiling has options. Under and to his right and taking himself. Missed with the save. Still Gen.G trying to threaten that clear. Not good enough here for FaZe Clan. Here comes Chronic, and he tries to put it to the left side. No one from FaZe Clan coming up with a touch. Nolly now to the right side. It's back to Chronic. Still no shot on target. FaZe Clan able to get out.
Sypical. One touch over. Apparently Jack with a long clear, but missed. Catches it. The 50 will kill it. The halfway point, but First Killer trying to keep that ball going. Back-to-back challenges. First killer digging that ball out of the corner, but still it's not enough for FaZe.
Still a tie ball game, less than 2 minutes to play now. First killer looking for the back wall, and FaZe looking for a lead here in a crucial game 3. It's 2 go there from Gen.G. They haven't shown too many double commits here in this series. Typical, wants the pass over to first killer, but it's completely read by Nolly.
And after that double commit that's given this extra space, Mist trying to utilize it, pass over to first killer, but the shot's right at apparently Jack. And Gen.G prevent that FaZe goal from going in. First killer, solo play attempt. Pinch off to the side, Nolly. Down the sideline. Slowing down, just enough for first killer to get the demo, but the demo right back from apparently Jack, and it's slotted far post. Immediate revenge for Gen.G.
He's not real. He's so good. He's taking out players. He's cutting Mist on the back line, and he's putting it bottom right from that angle. Gen.G and apparently Jack, they earned that first goal, and they're up by 1 here with 1:07 on the clock.
There is not a more clutch shooter in North America than apparently Jack. Scored 10 overtime goals, which was more than anyone else, and he's just a precision shooter. That goal might be enough to put Gen.G through to the playoffs if this scoreline holds.
Here he comes again, and he almost gets the second touch. The FaZe Clan defense do not come up with a block, as it is getting ugly in the midfield. Nobody really holding on to it. Now Mist, no boost though, denied by Chronic.
Having any boost whatsoever in that situation would have done wonders. The Mist is just flopping about. He has nothing in the tank. Chronic pushing it downfield. The fake from apparently Jack. Rebound out to Chronic. Time winding down. FaZe Clan about to be swept. Gen.G about to punch their ticket to the playoffs. Nolly getting dunked on by Mist. The double doesn't come through from Mist.
Nolly's just chasing him. He's just blowing up everyone in front of him, and it's not going to get anyone closer to the ball. FaZe Clan come up with nothing. Gen.G 3-0.
And Gen.G with pure domination over FaZe. There are no more questions anyone can have.